Good afternoon, I'm Dr. Valentine.
Nice to meet you, Kale Ellis.
Okay, you have a seat here.
Okay.
All right. So before we start our session, I want you to look over this consent form. So basically, it states that whatever is said in this in this session would stay in this session. The only people who will have access to your files is the people that will be working on your treatment plan and helping you, such as the psychiatrist, the therapist, and if you have a caseworker. And if you mention anything about harming yourself or harming another person, I'll have to speak to somebody outside of this session. And you just look over real quick and then sign it. And then at any point in this session, if you feel like you're not comfortable with asking a question, you could tell me. You could say no. And then at any point, if you feel like, hey, I don't really, I want to take back what I said on the consent form, you can do that. So feel open and free to be vulnerable in this session. Okay, perfect. Let's start. So what brings you in today?
Well, I just wanted to get, I guess, some help because I've just been struggling a lot lately, and it's been affecting me socially and at work, and I just kind of been like in a really sad and not wanting to get anything done, and just kind of down, and not really able to focus, and finding myself easily irritable towards things and people.
So, where do you work currently?
I teach.
You teach?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Do you feel like it's stressors in that, like in your teaching career? Like I know students can be kind of.
I'm sure most places jobs should have stresses, but it's not too much.
It's not really the kids.
No.
Okay. So what's been like? Has anything happened that made you feel like this type of mood, irritability, and what you mentioned?
I don't really know. I guess I felt like this for a while. It's been some years.
It's been some years.
Ever really since I've been kind of on my own, and I guess really towards the end of college.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you a few questions about your mental health history. So, have you ever saw someone for your emotional or psychiatric problems?
When I was a little kid, I had a therapist.
Oh, you had a therapist. Okay.
But I think I was like before the breed. I don't remember anything about it.
And do you remember if you was diagnosed with anything?
Not from therapy. I know I had a mental disorder from school. I had been diagnosed with ADHD.
Okay.
They put me on medication for that until I was in high school.
Okay. Do you remember what medication you was taking?
No.
No. Okay. And have you ever been a patient at a psychiatric hospital?
No.
Okay. And when you were receiving therapy, you said it wasn't due to ADHD?
No, I don't believe it was. No.
Do you recall what you was receiving therapy for?
Yes. I guess I just had a lot of things going on as a child, and my parents weren't together, and so there was like a lot of issues around that, and that's like a whole other baggage, and I used to have like a lot of dark thoughts as a kid, and I think that was one of the main reasons they sent me there to kind of figure out my emotions and how to manage them.
Okay. Have you ever wished you were dead or wish you could go to sleep and not wake up again?
Yes.
Has this been recently, like in the past week?
Not this past week.
When was the last time you thought about that?
So I guess a couple of weeks ago, I just sometimes, I'm just so tired and drained and just kind of like in a funk, I guess, and kind of like like over it and just want to sleep and don't want to wake up. And not that I'm okay and I want to die, but like content with I could go right now.
And have you thought about like acting on it, such as like doing anything to harm yourself?
No,
Okay.
I never thought about actually harming myself. I mean, well, I never thought about killing myself. I've just thought about me being dead
Okay.
or no longer here, but not me actually doing it.
Have you ever in the past did like any suicidal attempts or had any plans or anything?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And how often do you consume alcohol or any substances?
I used to drink a lot. I don't drink a lot as much because I teach, so I'm like always, you know, I need a lot of rest, so I don't get a chance to do it as much. I maybe like a drink every 2 weeks, and then like every now and then I'll go out and have like maybe like 3 or 4 shots, 3 drinks. But other than that, I used to smoke a lot of marijuana. Not anymore. Maybe now it's like every couple of months, or if I go out, I like have someone's pen, or like every very now and then. It's not something that's regular that I have done in a long time.
Have you ever like sought help to help you like stop smoking marijuana or stop drinking?
No, I didn't think that was necessary. I don't see myself as like someone who's addicted to those things. I just see myself, like it's something I can easily stop if I wanted to. That's why
You
I
was
don't
able
do
to
it
stop?
as
Yeah,
much. I'm not saying I stop. No, I just don't do it like that because it's just not like something that's on my list of priorities to do. You know.
Would you say you did it socially or?
Yeah, socially, recreationally. I would, for the most part, socially. Sometimes I would just come home and just as a way to relax from the day, but never something like where I'm just constantly not in my right mind, you know.
And have you used any like tobacco products like cigarettes?
No.
Okay. And what about caffeine consumption?
No, I drink vegan coffee.
Vegan coffee, okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Do you consume any like energy drinks?
And maybe every now and then, if it's like absolutely necessary, I have like Alani, but it's supposed to be like zero, like no caffeine in it.
An Alani?
I mean, it's zero sugar.
Zero
It's
sugar.
vegan.
Yeah, but it's caffeine in Alani. Actually, 200 milligrams of caffeine in Alani.
Well, yeah, but every now and then, if it's like it's absolutely necessary that I need to stay up for like work or something, then I'll drink it. Otherwise, I don't.
Do you feel like you're sensitive to caffeine?
No, I mean I think with my ADHD, it just doesn't have the same effect on me that it has on normal people. Like oftentimes, I just crash super hard and I don't get the full effect of caffeine that most people would get. I just get sleepy real quick, so that's why I don't do it. Yeah.
And currently, are you let's see. Currently, are you still smoking marijuana or?
I mean, yes, but not like regularly. Like
Okay.
every now and very once in a while.
And are you currently married?
No,
You're not married? Are you widow or single?
just single.
Single, okay. And do you have any children?
No.
No? Mm. And so these questions will be a little deeper because I know most people have a lot to talk about when I bring up family. So if you need me to stop, if you need some tissue, just let me know. Okay. So who did you grow up with?
I grew up with my, for the first part, about until sixth grade, it's complicated. I would say my mom mostly, but there was a part of my childhood where my dad and mom lived in the same city, and I was able to like switch. And then he moved away, and then I lived with him from sixth grade until I graduated college. But in the beginning, it was just my mom and me. There was no one else around.
Mm-hmm. How's your relationship? How was your relationship with your mom and dad when you was growing up?
I was definitely closer to my mom.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I guess growing up seeing your parents fight, you pick a parent who I guess you feel like you like the most or like naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And I chose my mom, and I was closer to her, and I connected with her more. I would often like be at my dad, and I would have dreams of me waking up in my bed at my mom's house, and it being the best thing ever to
Oh.
wake up at his house.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have nightmares at her house, waking up at his house, but I was with her really.
How was your relationship with your dad? I'm sensing that it wasn't that great since you had nightmares about being at his house.
I mean, it wasn't the worst. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
in the grand scheme of things, but like we just weren't close. We didn't have like a normal, I guess, relationship
Mm-hmm.
with him, and I don't think I was just accepting him having a relationship with him. My stepmom and siblings. I just saw him more as a disciplinarian kind of figure, as opposed to someone who was like my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Just always one of those serious individuals. You know,
What methods of discipline did he use?
yelling, name calling,
Mm-hmm.
saying different things, threats. Not like he was gonna do it, but just like if you don't do this, I'm gonna do this to you or
Did
something.
the threats scare you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I was a little kid, it was just like whoop you. He would like be like, slap you across your face, you do this, or I'll punch you in the throat, or or whoop us, or when I got older, it was more like he was putting stitches in the dog's ear, and I had to hold the dog still, and I couldn't because it was a big pit bull. I like couldn't at all, and he like was screaming in my ear like, if you don't hold this, I'm gonna slap you.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't do it, and I was trying so hard, and he like smacked me across the living room.
Oh, really? Would you say
And
that?
there were other things.
Would you say that he was abusive?
I mean, you could say that. I never like called him like abusive
Mm-hmm.
because I guess because you see these things on TV, and like he's not like physically beating me all the time
Mm-hmm.
or like whatnot, but yeah.
Well, abuse is subjective. If you feel like you were in harm's way with your dad, because just seeing kids with black and blue eyes isn't the only definition of physical abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Slapping you across your face can be considered physical abuse. Emotionally abuse is him calling you names. Do you feel like that still still affects you to this day?
Some things,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Sometimes I just think about it.
Uh, how would you describe your childhood experience overall?
I mean, it was okay. I mean, I was well taken care of. Like, I had what I needed. I
Mm-hmm.
had good schools. Um, I was never without, you know. In that regard, it was all right.
How would you say, what did your mom provide that your dad didn't?
Well, we were just closer, and like I just connected to her, and she was just this warm, loving person that just like I was just safe,
Mm-hmm.
and nurtured and cared for.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when we would always be at the court, and they would always be doing observations on me and how I reacted
Mm-hmm.
around each parent separately. And it was always just easier to be in a room alone with her. And it was just so awkward with them. I didn't know what to do.
Huh. Did they divorce at a younger age?
They were never married.
Oh. Did they separate at a younger age? What age did they
Well,
separate?
the whole time I was alive, they were never together.
Okay.
They were always apart.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't meet my dad till I was 4 years old.
I see. Mm-hmm.
He was in California and she was in Michigan.
Mm-hmm. Was that difficult for you to meet your dad later?
I don't know. To be quite
You
honest,
can't recall that time.
I don't think it was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember me longing, like, I think I was fine for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Do you recall when you first met your dad?
I remember I don't recall when I first met him. I know it was a process of him coming and visiting,
Mm-hmm.
but I remember the first time I visited his home in California. I remember going and meeting my brother
Mm-hmm.
and seeing my stepmom in his apartment.
And how was that experience?
It was okay. I can't recall much.
Mm-hmm.
From what I do remember, it was fine. He was there, a little intimidating, but I guess because I never knew him, he was just this rough guy. He was in the military, so I think I wasn't used to that.
So who did you end up living with majority of your life, like your childhood life?
My mom.
Your mom. Did y'all move around often?
Yeah, I never like stayed in a place and lived there for like a whole section of my life. I went to like 4 different elementary schools.
Oh really?
2 middle. I went 4. Every year was a different place.
Every year? Oh.
Yeah.
How was that? I know it probably like would be
it was
difficult
fine.
making friends.
I never thought about it, but then when you're in elementary, being a new kid, I guess, isn't a big deal because you don't know. There's always someone.
What about high school and middle school?
Well, I moved with my dad when I was in the 6th grade, and
Okay.
that's when I was kind of like really a new kid.
Was that difficult for you?
No, I never thought about it being difficult. I always thought about it being just like a fresh start in a school where no one knew who I was, and
That's good.
change things.
That show a lot of resilience. I mean that you can adjust and adapt to things very quickly. I know most people when they moving around, like a lot of times it's kind of difficult. Sometimes they'll like separate themselves from others and feel a little down, but you showed up for yourself and you conquered that situation. That's great. Do you have any siblings?
2 half siblings.
Two half siblings. How is that? How's your relationship with them?
I was close with my brother when we were younger, and then as we just got older, we just had different friend groups, different lives. He was 2 years younger than me, and we weren't always in the same school building because of our age gap. And he had his own friends, and we were different. And then I had my own friends that were different. He was into athletic sports, I wasn't. So we just kind of, as we got older, drifted apart, different hobbies, different interests.
And what about your sister?
She's a lot younger than me. She's 16 now, and so we've always been close. Um, we have a good relationship.
That's good. Do y'all talk often?
Not anymore, but we used to
Mm-hmm.
talk all the time. But she texts me, and I'll text her.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay. So now I'm gonna jump into more like education questions. What is the highest grade level when you completed?
bachelor's degree,
Bachelor's? Oh, sweet. What was your degree in?
social studies, 12th grade,
Oh, okay. So what grade are you teaching right now?
8th.
Oh, that's amazing. When you was in school, what type of grades did you get?
It was a range of B's, C's, and A's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's good.
always kind of around 3.0, 3.2.
That's amazing. That's great. What would you consider your best and your worst subject in school?
Math would be my worst.
Math. Mm-hmm.
My best is social studies.
Okay. Oh, that's why you teach it now.
Yes.
Oh, sweet. Let's see. Have you ever had to repeat a grade?
No.
Have you ever skipped a grade?
Mm.
Okay. Have you ever got suspended, expelled from school?
5th grade, I got suspended for the last 5 days of school.
What did you get suspended for?
I was just troubled that year. I was always just. It was the last full year before I moved to my dad, before 6th grade, and I was always just in trouble. Whether it was with another kid or I couldn't stay on task.
Mm-hmm.
It was a hard year.
Did you know that you was moving to your dad's after 5th grade?
What happened after I started 6th grade? It was kind of all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't really planned.
But you speaking that in 5th grade you were going through it.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Mm-hmm. And what did you do to get suspended? Or you don't recall?
I did a lot of things. I was either as a kid I didn't get along with, and we would always argue or fight. Me and
Like
the
physically fight?
Yeah, me and the principal didn't get along,
Mm-hmm.
so we would argue.
Oh, so you saying that you got suspended multiple times?
No, only one time.
Only one time. Okay.
I wrote someone like a mean note. Most of the time, what they would do is there was a table that sat in the front doors of the school. So you have the front doors, and you can enter and you can walk to the front office.
Mm-hmm.
But by the front door, there was a round table, and they would just make me go sit there for the entire day.
Oh, I see.
And I wouldn't eat lunch or anything because they would just leave me there to sit
Mm-hmm.
till school ended.
Oh, okay. Have you ever been diagnosed with a learning disability like dyslexia, dyscalculia?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. Have you ever been placed in remedial classes? You know what that means?
What?
Remedial classes?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, like classes under like the expected grade level you should be in. I mean, like the expected grade level class you should be in.
When I was in ninth grade, they realized I was in algebra and I wasn't good at it.
Mm-hmm.
So they switched me to a pre-algebra course,
Oh, okay.
and I did half pre-algebra, and then I did the next year I started algebra again,
Oh, okay.
and then I had did support English for the first 2 years of high school. Halfway through my 10th grade year, they switched me to the regular English course. They realized I was doing well.
Okay. And I know you mentioned you are a teacher. How is your job currently?
It's okay. Just getting used to a new school, but it's really good.
Okay. Have you ever been dismissed or let go from any job?
No.
Okay. And how are you socially right now? Like, do you have any friends? Do you like have any hobbies?
I have a lot of work friends from my old job and this job, and college friends I still keep in touch with. I don't do a lot of things with friends because I'm just always either exhausted or busy from work, but like sometimes we'll go over and we'll like sit by the pool and have like drinks or snacks, or we'll just go hang out at one of our apartments and catch up and watch something.
Okay. How is your relationship with your friends?
It's good. We've been a lot of my friends I haven't seen in a while.
Do you communicate with them often, even though you don't see them?
I'm not a big texter.
Okay. What about calling?
I don't really reach out to call people.
Oh, okay, I see.
So there's only like a few people I will like just do call.
Would you say you prefer being by yourself or with others?
I like being alone.
You like being alone?
But I enjoy people's company.
Do you know what isolating is?
Mm-hmm.
Do you often isolate?
Yeah, I can be an isolator.
Let's see. Are you currently in a romantic relationship?
No.
No. Oh yeah, you say you were single. Are you like in any situationship, as y'all say it?
No.
Not really. Okay. Are you currently sexually active?
No.
Okay. Where do you live currently?
I have my own apartment in a medical center.
That's sweet. Do you have any roommates?
My best friend.
And is this a girl or?
It's a girl.
Okay. Have you ever been homeless?
No.
You living with your best friend, has that caused like any stressors or any like problems for you?
No, not at all.
Okay. And are you do you receive any like assistance with rent and
No.
Okay. Have you ever been arrested?
Yes.
You have
One
been?
time when I was younger, partying in Austin, I had a blunt on me, and they couldn't give me a ticket because I didn't live in Austin, so they had to book me temporarily. So yeah, I was arrested once.
Okay. Do you feel like your substance use affect your life? Like, do you feel like it affect your life?
No, because I don't use often,
Okay.
and I don't put myself in situations to where I'm not sober to get things done. I would never do that. I think that it was just that
One incident.
one time.
I see.
You know. Yeah.
When you got arrested, were you also a teacher at the time? How did you feel about that? Was it
Well, I was
traumatic?
nervous for some time. I thought, they go and they ask you all these questions. Are you hearing voices? And all these other questions you never heard before. And then you see people who, you're like, oh, that's why you ask those questions. And, take your clothes and you don't know who you're sitting next to. And you're just there for hours. So, yeah, it affected me. I didn't know what was going to happen. Luckily, it was during a break. So I didn't have to worry about work, but they let me out in a few hours, and they dismissed everything, and there was no charge. Everything was rejected and dismissed and closed, so I don't have to worry about anything with my job. I just have to explain, like, if I apply somewhere and they ask me, I have to be like, oh, this, and they're like, oh, cool. But it's nothing
So
that
it's not affecting you.
they couldn't legally prevent me from working if they wanted to.
But let's talk about how you felt when you were in there. Were you afraid that you might lose like your teaching license or anything?
Everything. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what if they decide to continue and they move me and I'm in the city with my friends. I don't know how to contact them if I get moved.
Do you often think about that time?
I used to think about it every day, all day. Not anymore.
And does it like affect you to this day? Like when you see like police, does it do you get reminded like, oh my gosh, like I got arrested that one time?
I used to get really anxious and freeze up and it was really hard. Now I'm okay.
Yeah. That's great.
I don't know what healed was. I'm just.
Wait, what did you say?
I said I don't know what I did to be okay. It's just now it's just.
You don't think about it as often.
Yeah.
It's not affecting you.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you had any other traumatic experiences, either in your childhood or recently?
I mean, if I'm being transparent, yes, when I was a child, yes. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Take your time. I could come back to that question. Are you religious?
Things, I can answer the question.
You can? Okay.
Yeah. When I was at daycare, it was when I was living with my mother, and it was just me and her, and so I would go to this daycare from this like lady in Detroit, and she like watched kids of all age, and it was not a great daycare. She would make kids of a certain age. The basement was the area for the kids, and kids of another age would be upstairs in the kitchen, just right next to the basement. And the older kids were not allowed to go up those stairs, and I was only in first grade, and so older than first grade, and I could not go up those stairs. You must stay down, or you get yelled at, or sometimes we'd be outside, and she would just be in her like attic upstairs room watching us smoking cigarettes from the window. The only nice times is when our husband would take us to the beach. I remember one time the kids lied to me and told me some story, and I found myself. I think they told me to go upstairs. I had never been upstairs because none of us ever go upstairs unless we're really in trouble. And I went upstairs to the den and I sat, and it was something super scary on the news. And they forgot me and they went to the beach, and I was in the corner like.
Wait,
crying.
they left you?
And when she realized, she came back. Well, because she never.
How long
took
you
us to
was
the
left
beach.
unattended?
I think it was just like an hour.
Okay.
And then there was another time when I was in the basement with one of the older kids, Jonathan, and he had touched me a couple of times.
Did it happen repeatedly, or?
It was just all kind of like at once.
It was one incident.
Yeah.
Did you tell anybody?
No.
You didn't. Do you think that still affects you to this day?
I mean, no, I don't know if it is, because I know it happened, but like I kind of like I don't know. I feel like my mind protected me from that memory for a long time. I never told no one about it or anything that happened, or I never like thought like this happened to me.
Yeah.
I guess I've reacted to it throughout my life. When it comes to my sexuality, things I've done and experimented, but I've never like faced the why am I doing this.
Yeah. So oftentimes, when a traumatic event happened to us, we try to block it out, and it's not us. It's our brain trying to protect us. It's a defense mechanism where we try to block out what happened to us, and the experience can affect you in a lot of ways that you don't even understand. Was the only abuse sexually? Did you ever get physically or emotionally abused?
Not a daycare, no.
Okay. But just in general.
Only by what I told you about my father. And then there was other things he did, but yeah.
Never by anybody else.
No.
Okay. And are you religious or anything?
Yes.
What religion are you?
Christian.
Okay. Do you feel like that is helping you mentally?
You know, yeah. It's. I feel like I'm at one of those points. It's like when you're at therapy and you're like right before the big breakthrough that changes things. That's where I'm standing, and I just gotta. Yeah, it helps.
Like, what you mean by that? Like, you feel like you're in a waiting season, or what do you mean?
Kind of like I don't know how to explain.
Okay.
It's kind of like I'm at like
You said right before a breakthrough happens.
yeah.
So you feel like a breakthrough is about to happen with you spiritually?
It's. I mean I don't know or like it does help me, but it's like I don't know. It helps you much as far as you help yourself. I feel like when you're a Christian, you have to put in work.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why I'm here. I'm putting in work so that I can grow. Yeah.
And then for spiritually, do you like attend activities? Are you involved in any church community?
I find myself just always really shy, so
You don't really.
I don't go to a lot of things. I go to a young adult night, and I serve, but I'm not like
That's
a
great.
social person
You
unless I know
volunteer,
you.
you said?
Yeah,
That's great. You said you're not a social person unless I know you?
yeah.
Okay. Were you ever in the military?
No, my family, long line on both sides of military people.
Oh, really? Oh, that's why you moved often? I see. Okay, and do you have any hobbies or activities that you like to do?
Just going to the movies, going to the beach, swimming. I think my hobby, just being in the water, swimming.
That's good. What about like activities that, like your day-to-day activities? Do you usually find yourself bored, or do you
Yeah,
you find yourself bored?
yeah.
What do you do when you're bored?
I watch TV. I binge a show. I'll talk to my friend. We'll go grab a drink, not to get drunk, but just to have a drink.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said earlier that you haven't been doing your hobbies and you kind of been like laying in bed. When you lay in bed, what do you do?
I'm just laying there. Like I'll
Be on your phone?
sometimes I just sit there and I look and stare, close my eyes. most of the time it's like on the weekends and the mornings if I have nothing to do, or before I go to work and I end up rushing to work, or I'll be late when I wake up plenty of time.
So you don't have would you say you don't have good time management?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I would say don't.
And then earlier you also said that you feel down often. How often do you feel sad?
Not too often. I mean, usually when I'm alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier that you've been alone a lot.
Yeah.
So how, like, would you say you sad a lot, or
Yeah.
mhm. And what do your sadness look like? Like how is your thoughts? What can you identify to know that you're sad?
I just feel like I'm over it and I'm done and tired and just feel like I can throw in the towel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever notice yourself like talking slow or walking slow?
When I'm sad,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes I just think of me being gone, and I like imagine what it would be like for everyone else
Mm-hmm.
if I just wasn't here.
And do you think about that? You think about that often?
When I'm like really sad, yeah.
Hmm. When you're really sad, do you ever think maybe I should do it?
No.
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 Okay. So you just kind of like think about the idea, but you know that you won't do it.
Yeah, I don't think about doing it myself.
Hmm. What you mean?
Or I don't think about killing myself.
Hmm.
I don't think about me being gone.
Okay. And how often is that?
Not too often, but I mean, yeah. Yeah. And it's crazy. I don't know why I think like that, because like one of my greatest fears is death, and I
Hmm.
don't want to die. But that is something like it's sad. I feel like I'm okay with.
Wait, you said that you okay with that?
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Um, do you? I mean, do you ever feel like maybe like you? So you said you never think about actually doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You just like fantasize about that. Would you say?
I don't want to use the word fantasy because it's not like great, you know, like like something I would fantasize,
Mm-hmm.
but it's in my head.
It's in your head. You think about it often.
Yeah,
Okay.
not often. When I'm doing well, I'm doing well, and I don't think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But every now and then,
Okay. Okay. Do you ever like engage in like self harm?
no.
Okay. So
I mean, I've thought about it, but I have never done it.
when you think about it, do you ever think of how you would do it?
I have before.
Hmm. And what does that look like?
Bleeding to death.
You said bleeding to death,
Mm-hmm.
and how would that happen?
I would cut open my arm.
Do you have access to to like sharp objects?
I mean, yeah, I have a kitchen
Hmm.
with kitchen tools.
Okay. So.
But I haven't thought about like I could do this, and then I could do this, and I could do this. It's more like when I said I imagine myself being dead or dying.
So moving forward, we have a question about strengths and weaknesses. What do you think your strengths are?
I think helping people
Mm-hmm.
is a good strength of mine,
That's great.
and helping people solve problems
Mm-hmm.
to get things done and be more efficient and better for people.
Mm-hmm. I think that's amazing. I think that's amazing that you pointed that out because you do help a lot of people. You're a teacher. You helping all your students, and you serve at your church. That's amazing. So that is a great strength to point out. Do you have any other strengths?
Listening to people.
Listening to people.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that you empathetic?
Yes.
That's great. And what about weaknesses?
I think one good weakness is taking care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you find it hard taking care of yourself?
I guess you could say that because it's just not something that's on my mind
Mm-hmm.
ever, or on like a list of things I have to do. I don't think about it. Like I don't think about the things I should do to self care or the things that I should do for my health. I don't think about those things ever first.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like, do you know what self-neglect is?
Yeah,
Do you feel like you neglect yourself?
sometimes.
Okay. How is like, your, hygiene and stuff? Like, do you find it hard to take showers? Do you eat okay?
Yeah, I eat okay. I take showers and
Mm-hmm.
I do those things. I'm slow to do it. Sometimes I'll skip one day and I'll just go shower because I'm tired. Or if I'm tired, I'll just get in the bath and I just sit and soak in the tub.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So this will be my last question. If a miracle was to happen, if a miracle was to happen tomorrow, what would that look like for you?
Being happy.
Being happy.
Mm-hmm.
And what does being happy look like for you?
Being okay and content in where I am in life and what I have, and not being sad, and seeing all the positive things and not the negative,
Mm-hmm.
and being able to solve a lot of things from my childhood. Relationships, pair a lot of relationships.
You said repair a lot of relationships?
Yeah,
Which one specifically?
my parents.
Your parents. Okay. And would you be doing anything different? Would you be doing more of a certain thing?
I'd probably be more social and
Mm-hmm.
more involved and more, yeah.
More social, more involved. What about like hobbies? Would you be doing something more?
Yeah, I would definitely, I would go to coffee shops and get things done. I would go to the beach a lot more. I would, hang out, get togethers with friends, and be involved in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. All right. So the next steps will be you'll get assigned a therapist, and wait. Do you have any preferences, like of what type of therapist you'll like?
No.
Okay. So gender don't matter. Okay. All right. So you'll be hearing from your therapist in a few days. You don't have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Nice meeting you, Caleb.
Nice meeting you.